Everybody can miss my rant on not having the right computer in place. So this week is a makeup from last week. So I'm going to try to squish 2 weeks worth of stuff into one session. And in good review, because I forgot last week to update the link for everyone. That's on me. Luckily, Skip picked up the ball and fixed it. I also forgot to update the event calendar link. I have this wonderful page that I spent a good day or two editing, and no one can see it but me. So I'm going to share that today because what the beauty of these events are, and I see we have some new people joining us this week. We have a variety of people joining us every week throughout the year. And what this is meant for is to keep you on task, not to be a big, long, hour-long meeting, but rather be like a 20-minute to 30-minute at most. Hey, here is where we are with the world today. And so if you look over here, what we have is on our site under events, and I promise I'll update this after the meeting, you'll be able to see 2023 community updates here. You'll click this button and it'll take you to it. But right now it takes you to the registration for this event. What it will take you to is this link here will take you to the 2023 annual roadmap. This will take you to the sign up for this event. And as many of your people can come this as you want. You don't have to be a member of Managed Services Platform or Humanize IT to join these meetings. Anybody can join them. And to get back on topic, the goal is that I want this to be a nice layout of what is 2023 going to look like and how to keep on task. If you don't attend these weekly meetings, you'll find that you're like hitting March and you're like, oh crap, I haven't got a lot of stuff done. Maybe you're the only account manager on your team. Maybe you're the only VCIO. And you're just too busy. You're doing your job, you're kicking ass, you're taking names, and it's March and you forgot to do a bunch of stuff. The goal of this calendar is to show you like what you should be doing each week to stay on top of your account management. And I designed it a little bit differently this year. So this year you come in here and we have the previous year's video linked to it. So Skip can see like, hey, if you want to see a 2022, how did we do this? You missed this week's meeting. I haven't published it yet. You can actually, copy link address. I can go over here and I can paste. And it takes you to the YouTube video of last year's community event where we talked about road mapping and the importance of it and how it should be done. So you can actually, if you're really bored on vacation, you can actually pretend that you're in a webinar. And so, somebody comes up to you and says, hey, I need you to come do this. Like, no, I'm in a webinar. Just throw up one of ours right here and it'll look like you're busy. And
there we go.
Great material. And so if we had a topic on this subject last year, I will link to the video on YouTube from it last year. So architecture audits, how to do those better. This week is all about how do you create a roadmap? How do you create an adequate cadence so you don't fall behind? If you follow our roadmap, if you attend these community updates throughout the year and kind of generally follow our advice, we're not being prescriptive, we're just giving you a general format, then by December, you should be able to walk away like December 15th with 2 weeks of vacation and a job well done.
Yep.
That's how you should be feeling.
Yep. And so we met with an MSP earlier this week, and they started out with a phrase that I identify with personally, right? And I know it applies to plenty of you. They're like, yeah, last year we really started out, we were going to do the QBRs and we started rolling along. And I think we did 4 or I don't know, 4 or 6. I don't know. They sound like they got through January, probably into February, and then things just kind of dissolved. And I know that happens so many times. So if you're sitting in January right now and you're being a bit reflective and you're looking back at last January and you remember, oh yeah, we were going to do this in 2022. We were going to have these regular engagements. We were going to do these strategic activities with our customers. And you got to the end of 2022 and it was a great idea. It just didn't happen. Now's your chance to redo that. Start again and maybe use a little bit of the sting from last year going, I was going to do that and I didn't. All right. Whatever it takes to, provide the little bit of motivation to really start out very intentionally in 2023. And if you're not quite sure where to start, again, take exactly what Adam said. We're not prescriptive. We're not saying do this, do this. It's not a step 1 to 99 sort of deal. We're giving you some ideas, and it will help us help you take. Sometimes it's just that first step, right? Just getting rolling on that, and then we'll provide you some more details along the way, and really allow you to run these roadmaps so they're yours. That they apply to you, your clients, your technology, your stack, all of that. But we'll give you some direction and some tips and suggestions along the way. But you really need to start it now.
Yeah.
Long way to say that, but you really need to start it now.
Yeah. So the important thing to know right now, just before I roll into what you need to know this week, is that we want there to be a cadence to your activities. So at the very high level, the bare minimum, what you need to do is think of your year in terms of 4 quarters. Don't worry about QBRs at this point. Just think of it as 4 quarters to divide things up into. We also have 4 pillars. So all of your existing clients, you can refresh each of the pillars once a quarter. Easy to do. You should take about 15 minutes to refresh a pillar. You should be able to go into Joe's Trucks or your client and say where they are at architecturally right now. Did we update anything last year? Do we have any new recommendations for them this year? And then in quarter 2, you should come in and do services. What services did we update last year? What service recommendations do we have this year? Same thing with risk in 3rd quarter. And in 4th quarter, you'll wrap it all up again in time for budgets and for proposals for 2024. And you're going to be ready to go. Yes, I said the word 2024 because a lot of this year is planning for 2024. And so that when you get to November and October, you already have a plan for 2024 and you're first to the table for handouts from the CFO of your clients, which makes your key stakeholder or your point of contact really happy because you made them look good because you already had a plan. They can go there and they can be the first table to ask for the cash they need to be successful in 2024. And that comes from being prepared in 2023.
Yep.
So with that, look at the event calendar. Notice how we have it broken out. So at the very minimum, break your year into 4 quarters. And then in those quarters, we have activities that you should be doing or can do to make things a little easier. So next week will be stakeholder interviews. One of our favorite things we've talked about in 3 years running, January. Find people you care about in your clients and get their opinions. It's very easy. But to this week is we just want to talk about this narrative of how to help your clients by having a plan, even a loose plan. Even the quarterly plan where you think about it for 15 minutes is better than what you have been doing. So we're going to start you off with baby steps. Think quarterly. Tell your clients about that. We're going to be focusing on things quarterly this year because we're Humanize partners now. Now you can say to your client, this is how we're going to run things this year. If you want to get really detailed, use our roadmap. These are the topics we're going to be covering every quarter.
Now, I will say on those topics, they're not exclusive. All right. And I always use the term a theme. So, in Q1, many times it's the architecture theme. Now, that doesn't mean we can't talk about security in Q1. So don't restrict that. But if you give it a theme, that's going to provide some more direction and help you stay on point.
Yeah, the theme is fantastic. Having something you're going to aim for is great. So this year, one of the themes I recommend for an MSP is service delivery. You heard it here first, people. Service delivery is king in a recession. Always has been, always will be. If you are good at delivering services with your clients, this will be your year. Because everybody else is trying to still push margins on hardware and software, you're going to be delivering increased services to help your clients succeed. That's your big goal in 2023. How do you deliver more services to your client? Now, here's the pressure that's going to be on you, and you can listen to our podcast as we talk more about this. The pressure on you is going to come from Dell and Microsoft and Lenovo and the big manufacturers because they're seeing a recession and they're going to be squeezed as their supply chain is not there. So you're going to see things come from them. It's like, you need to sell more. You need to push more. You need to do this and this and this. And they're going to put a lot of pressure on you. Or they might just be completely absent. Like they won't return your calls. They won't, hey, I need things. They won't be there as they lay off employees and they try to tighten the belt knowing that they can't sell this year. What you're going to do is you're going to make up for this. And it's a good thing for MSPs because all your margin is wrapped up in services. And so it's going to force you to sell more gold packages. It's going to force you to sell increased warranties. Like, hey, why aren't you going out to 5 years on a PC warranty? Well, if you are like Skip and I, and you remember the early 2000s, the reason we had the 4-year warranty, I just gave somebody else a lecture on this. The reason we have the 4-year warranty is because Western Digital's warranty on their hard drives was 4 years.
Yep.
Then Seagate came up with that Masterwork 5-year warranty, which we all loved. And that was because platters can only spin for so long. Well, if your clients are running SSDs, why are they still under a 4-year warranty? You could be making bank on an extended warranty that you support yourself. That's increased services. You have to decide if this is going to work for your stack. I cannot decide that for you. But I can say there's an opportunity there this year as your clients aren't going to be able to buy PCs and stuff in time, where you can say, hey, it's worth a bet. I bet we could extend a warranty out for $30 a PC for 1 year and come out ahead. You have to do your own math. But that's service. That's service and delivery and risk acceptance or risk transference if you're talking about your client's perspective. But it makes you money and it's going to make you successful. And your client's going to be happier because they're saving a ton of money. So everybody wins. So we actually have a tool. If you use our budgeting tool, you can actually create that narrative where you can take all our PCs out of 2024, move them to out of 2023 and move them to 2024 and increase the service fees this year. So you're making an extra like $1,000 per client. They're saving $3,000 and everybody wins.
That's an important element.
Every year.
These services, you really can get in there so that your clients can realize a near term, and yes, we are pushing some of these, but we're aligning with the business environment, and the world today. And so we can realize price savings for your clients, but increased sales for you, or at the very least, increased margins. All right. So there's no reason why, if your clients are buying for cash or looking at their monthly spend, there's no reason why we can't restructure these things so that you don't, lose money in the deal. There's a lot of opportunity. And so I think too many times we hear, our client is, complaining about their bill. I've got to cut their cost. I've got to take less money because I want to hold on to the client.
Yeah.
That's not always the only option. Sometimes you just need to restructure that. And the cool part about it is the restructuring may make your bottom line even better.
Yeah, and I hate that I don't want to talk down to people, but I remember when I was first learning business strategy and stuff, like there's obvious things that you just miss. It seems to be this thing where everybody wants to get to that 1 million ARR, or they want to get to the 5 million ARR. They're looking for the ARR. They want to annual recurring revenue. And I'm here to tell you that number is crap. It's all about EBITDA. It's all about your margins. So a company making $500,000 a year consulting will outperform a retailer making $3 million a year because the margins are there. So when you look at your bottom line, what is your goal? Is your goal to get your ARR as high as possible, or is your goal to make money? Is your goal to help your clients? So your clients are looking at their contracts right now. They're seeing recession. They're going to see down sales. They're really worried. And you're going to come in there and ask them for more money at 7% because somebody told you in a sales channel that you need to increase by 7%, which is 3% plus whatever. They've got their little formula they used. Your clients in there looking at their bottom line saying, I need to reduce expenditures, and my MSP's coming in and asking me to spend more money. Now, come in as a hero and say, look, guys, I found a way for you to spend money or save money. We're going to cut $1,000 off your contract with us a month, and we're not going to buy you any PCs this year. what we're going to do is we're going to increase you to gold level support. It's going to cost you an extra $2,000 a month. And we're going to cover all your PCs this year and come up with some way of covering them so that you're moving up the SLA, and or maybe you have extra parts for these particular PCs because you have 10 of them sitting on the back in your back burner in your back office. Whatever it is, tell your client, I'm helping you. I'm saving you money this year. I'm saving you $1,000 by moving everything. We're deferring costs to 2024. Every CFO understands this concept. You're deferring costs to 2024 so that they don't have to depreciate this year. They can depreciate next year instead. And you're going to increase your services this year so that they're getting better support during a time of stress.
Yep.
This is a narrative they can buy in on. You're going to make more money on your bottom line, and they're going to save money. Now you're like, wait a minute, I don't have personnel for this. I cannot increase services because I can't hire anybody right now. Unemployment's at what, 3.4%, 3.5% right now?
Yep.
I can't hire an engineer. That's okay. You're increasing services on a warranty basis. This is what there's everybody in the world. Square offers an extended warranty. Who is your favorite skit there? HP. HP will offer a warranty on anything because
forever.
They know that they don't have to hire extra personnel to cover this.
Yep.
They're just accepting risk. And what you're doing is you're accepting it on behalf. So you don't have to extend your personnel for an extended warranty. It's minimal effort as long as you structure it correctly.
Yeah, and if you think about those warranty situations, when that PC fails, you're still rolling a tech, right? They're spending time with, whatever the vendor, getting the warranty process done, waiting on parts, and doing that whole cycle. There's going to be an element of that you're still going to have to do, and some of those costs you will have to take on. But at the end of the day, if you start kind of, lining out the math there, the amount of work that your team is going to be doing extra is, I feel, going to be pretty minimal. So this is going to be a good way to, really, again, drive that bottom line in your business.
Yeah, we can mark this down next year. When we bring this up, I'll copy and paste this YouTube video on 2024s, and we'll see if I was right. Or we were right. If you walk into this year asking your clients to spend more money, you're going to start burning a bridge because they're stressed, unless you know they're growing. So what not to do in 2023, do not expect your clients to do big increases in spend this year. Don't expect them to buy a bunch of hardware and software unless they've got some kind of grant underneath them. This is a recession. But even if we don't hit the major recession, people are bracing for it.
Right. Well, and that's another great conversation to sit down with early on, is saying, hey, we're aware that everyone is apprehensive about that. Tell me how you feel. We want to make sure we plan out this year so that we're able to respond to what you think may be coming up. And really, rather than starting out of the gate going, hey, we got, 27 PCs that got to replace this year. All right. Roll that back just a little bit and first start with the conversation with your client. Understand where they're at, what do they feel like? Are they apprehensive about the year? There's other service industries other than IT, and there are a few other people out there that are thinking, hey, 23, could be a really big year for us. We may, despite what a lot of other people doing, we may be able to grow. All right. Mm-hmm. If that's the case, you want to be partnering with those people. You want to be understanding. Don't just take the assumption that everybody is looking to reduce costs this year. All right. Talk with your customers. See what they're planning on doing.
Yeah. And to help you with that, we have a new flow for the software, and that's we've been talking about for the past 2 months. And it's assess, recommend, budget, roadmap. So right now, in order to deliver this to your clients, assess their needs, hardware, software, and services, recommend projects and opportunities that align with this idea that your client's going to be more service-based than they are hardware-based this year. And then budget it that in a way that fits what they're doing in their narrative. You can create a budget that makes you more money and costs them less. There's no reason you can't. And then finally, you're going to run the roadmap. You're going to deliver on that. So when it comes to end of 2023, you say, look what we did for you. Hey, now in 2024, let's
Yep.
move into more of a hardware based year. And so you can do that stuff and you can create that narrative and those expectations. So when you put the project in front of them saying, hey, we need to refresh all your PCs next year, they get it. There's going to be an increased expense because you saved money this year. This is how you do the flow. You assess, you recommend, you budget, and you roadmap. You do that over and over and over again throughout the year. And that's how you align with your customer. But that recommendations phase is key because you're aligning with what the client needs, not with what Microsoft is telling you to sell. And it's
That's right.
really important. And so I want you guys to focus on that this year. This is a services year. This is going to be service delivery year. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that next week with stakeholder interviews and a little bit more about assessing and recommending. But also, towards the end of this month, we're coming out with a new tool that's going to help everybody. So everybody's used our dashboard on this call, if I'm looking up there correctly. Everybody's used our dashboard here
Yep.
and has access to it. I don't think we have any of the legacies that without access to it. And that dashboard is shareable, but it's still static. The next thing that's coming out is a unified home screen that you can share with your clients the data that you want them to see.
Yep.
And it's going to allow you to have this wonderful conversation and then allow them transparency into what you're doing with no extra effort on your behalf. And this will change the way you do client delivery. It'll make it simpler. It'll save you a ton of time and it'll be more engaging for your clients so that they buy into your projects faster. And I'm looking forward to that. I just got the latest set of screenshots from it and the latest set of wireframes. So the developers are getting closer. And sure, it'll probably be buggy as hell when it first comes out, but we're a rapid deployment shop, and that's what we do. We want your feedback on how to make it better.
So
Any
yes,
final thoughts?
great topic on that. When that drops, I'll go ahead and set the expectations now. Jump in there, take a look. Hey, this doesn't look right, or wow, it'd be awesome if this were here. I mean, I can't tell you how many items over the last few modules that we released that we got quick customer feedback, our member feedback on that, and we turned around to our developers and say, hey, our members are saying we need this or we need to switch this. So we love being responsive to what you guys are wanting, and please be on cue for that, so that this really is a tool that fits your needs. That's what we want.
Yes. And we have a lot coming out this year. First quarter, we've already got several partnerships coming up. There's some really exciting things I'm hoping to announce in February that will make your lives easier. And that's a lot of our goal is we're lazy. We want to make your lives easier. We want to get more feedback from you, and we're partnering with some great vendors and delivery that you all know and love and are going to help us align what you need and what's going to make your day easier so you can make more profits and make your clients happier. So this is going to be a fun year, people. So I thank you for everyone coming on. Again, bring more people in. I have the new link, so everything will stay as this for now. And go to our webpage, go to the events page, see the past YouTube videos on this stuff. If there's any of these topics on this calendar that you're curious about today, look at last year's. It's very relevant, and usually we're correct. But they're always about 20 minutes to 30 minutes long. Enjoy them. If you have any questions, just send us an email, coaching at humanizeit.biz or Skip or Adam, and we will answer your questions. Thank you, everyone. Happy New Year. Glad you can make it. Thank you for signing up for the new webinar series.